Hello and welcome. The lesson we're learning here is taking vital signs. We will begin the lesson with a study of words and phrases. Then we will learn a dialogue and watch a video. Then we will do Q&A to check comprehension. We will end the lesson with some practice to review and consolidate learning of the lesson. There are quite a few words to learn in this lesson. So let's go over them together. The first one, headache. Headache. Like, I have a terrible headache. Number two, symptom. Symptoms. What are the symptoms of a flu? Can you tell me? Well, the symptoms of flu may include a fever, a headache, and a sore throat. Number three, thermometer. Thermometer. This word has 4 syllables, so maybe a bit hard to pronounce. 这个字有 4 syllables, 4个音节，所以呢，可能有点难念。Students, please repeat after me, okay? Thermometer. Thermometer, okay? Thermometer. Number 4, armpit. Well, to take your body temperature, you may put a thermometer under your armpit. Number 5, degree. Let's look at the first meaning. Well, it's the meaning that's used in the dialogue. Your temperature is 35.8 degrees Celsius. Okay, 35.8 degrees Celsius. Another common meaning of the word is 程度水准. This job demands a high degree of skill. Degree here means level. So you can also say this job demands a high level of skill. Number 6, Celsius. Okay, Celsius. You can also use centigrade to mean the same thing, centigrade. 这两个字可以互用。Abbreviation 缩写为 C. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees centigrade Celsius. Number 7, measure. To measure is to get the exact size or amount of something. With a table filling here, I don't know, let's measure it. Measure. Number 8, pulse. Pulse is the regular beating of the heart. The child's pulse was strong. The child's pulse was weak. Pulse. Number 9, breathe. This is a verb. And please note that when you pronounce THE, you need to put your tongue between your teeth, like breathe. Let's look at the example. It's so airless in here, I can hardly breathe. It's so airless in here, I can hardly breathe. Next word, breath. This is a noun. Okay, the verb is breathe. Breath. Different pronunciation. Breath. Her breath smell of garlic. Also, if you want to tell someone that 你有口臭, you can say you have a bad breath. 11, beat. Beat is a regular movement or sound, especially that made by your heart. I put my head on his chest, but I could feel no heartbeat. 12, infection. Infection is a disease that is caused by bacteria or a virus. Infection. 13, likely. Although this word has an ly at the end, it's not an adverb, it's an adjective. 请注意，这个字的字尾虽然有 ly， 可是呢，它不是副词哦，它是形容词。Okay, let's look at the example. Do remind me because I'm likely to forget. I'm likely to forget. Likely. Number 14, wrap. Wrap. To wrap is to cover or surround something with paper, cloth, or other material. She wrapped the present and tied it with ribbon. She wrapped the present and tied it with ribbon. Wrap. W is not pronounced. W 不发音哦。Number 15, cuff. Cuff. 袖口、血压带、手铐。Cuff. Let's look at the pictures. The first one is a cuff. The second one is a cuff for taking blood pressure. It's a blood pressure cuff. And the last one is cuffs. Cuffs. They are for bad guys. 16. Tight. Tight. I can't untie the knot. It's too tight. Tight. IGH is pronounced as I. GH 不发音. Okay, tight. The last word, numb. Numb. B is not pronounced. B 不发音哦，请注意. So it's numb. Numb. I was lying in a weird position and my leg went numb. I was lying in a weird position and my leg went numb. Now let's move on to phrases. Let's say the first phrase together. A sore throat. A sore throat. Number 2, I'd better. I better. Or I had better. For example, I had better go home now. Or I had better study tonight. And number 3, take one's temperature. For example, let me take your temperature. Number 4, respiration rate. Respiration rate. Respiration. Respiration means breathing. Breathing. Her respiration was slow and difficult. And rate. Rate is the speed. Let me ask you this question. What is the normal respiration rate for adults? 成年人的正常呼吸速率是多少? Do you know? Here's the answer. It's 12 to 20 breaths per minute. Number 5, upper limit. Upper limit. Let's look at one example. There is no upper limit for the budget. Limit 限制 budget 预算 upper limit. Number 6, inform somebody of something. Inform somebody of or about something. 通知某人某件事情. Both prepositions are okay. 两个介系词都可以. But after the prepositions, you need to use a noun phrase. 不过呢，介系词的后面我们必须用名词片语。If you don't want to use preposition, 如果不想用介系词的话 then you can use a let clause. 那么你可以使用一个 let 子句。Let's check out the 2 examples here. I informed his wife of or about his safe arrival. I informed his wife that he has arrived safely. Both sentences mean the same, but different grammar structure. Well, the grammar here is quite complicated. 这边的文法有一点困难哦。If you want to know the details, you may ask your classroom teacher. 如果同学觉得有需要的话，直接问课堂上的老师解释给你听 ，OK? Number 7, blood pressure. Blood pressure. Let me take your blood pressure. Okay. And number 8, lift up. Lift. Lift. 抬高 lift up. Example, please lift up your arm. Or please lift up your leg. 请举起你的腿 Okay. Hold out. Hold out. For example, please hold out your hand. Okay, 请伸出你的手来 or please hold out. And number 10, within normal range. Within normal range. Okay, we're done with the study of phrases. Let's go on to dialogue. Now let's listen to the dialogue.
Taking vital signs. The patient goes to the doctor for a checkup, and the nurse takes his vital signs while the doctor is seeing another patient. What seems to be the problem with you?
I woke up yesterday with a sore throat and a headache. I'm not much better today. I feel pain all over my body, so I thought I'd better see a doctor.
Well, let me ask you some questions before you see the doctor. How long have you had these symptoms?
For several days.
Do you have a fever?
I have no idea.
Well, let me take your temperature first.
Okay.
Please put the thermometer under your armpit. Please give me the thermometer.
How's my temperature?
It is 38.2 degrees Celsius. You do have a fever.
No wonder I feel weak and dizzy.
Let me measure your pulse and respiration rate. Please sit up straight and breathe normally. Give me your hand and don't talk.
How's my pulse?
It's 19 beats per minute.
Is it normal?
Yes, your heartbeat is fine. But you are breathing faster than the upper limit. 24 breaths per minute is a bit much for an adult. I'll inform the doctor of that.
Thank you. I think there is an infection in my throat or lungs.
Very likely. Just wait and see what the doctor says. Time for blood pressure now. Please lift up your right arm so I can wrap the cuff around your arm.
Whoa, this is tight. My fingers are feeling numb.
Don't worry, your fingers won't be hurt.
What's my blood pressure?
It's 125 over 80. It's within normal range.
Good to hear that.
Now, you can go inside and see the doctor now.
Okay, thanks.
I just found there is a typo, a typing mistake. Here, students, please cross out this. Do you have a fever? Okay. Now let's look at the dialogue in more details. Okay, the nurse asks, what seems to be the problem with you? A patient, I woke up yesterday with a sore throat and a headache. I'm not much better today. I feel pain all over my body, so I thought I better see a doctor. Well, let me ask you some questions before you see the doctor. How long have you had these symptoms? For several days. Do you have a fever? I have no idea. Well, let me take your temperature first. Okay. Please put the thermometer under your armpit. 3 minutes later, please give me the thermometer. Okay, from their conversation here, we know why the patient comes to the clinic or hospital for help. Okay, because he has been sick for a few days, right? And what are his symptoms? Okay, please tell me. His symptoms include a sore throat, a headache, and also body ache. Okay, but how about a fever? Does he have a fever? Well, because the patient doesn't know, so the nurse is going to take his temperature. Now let's move on. Patient asks, how's my temperature? It's 38.2 degrees Celsius. You do have a fever. No wonder I feel weak and dizzy. Let me measure your pulse and respiration rate. Please sit up straight and breathe normally. Give me your hand and don't talk. Sometime later, how's my pulse? It's 90 beats per minute. Is it normal? Yes. Your heartbeat is fine, but you are breathing faster than the upper limit. 24 breaths per minute is a bit much for an adult. I will inform the doctor of that. From the conversation, we know the patient does have a fever because his temperature is 38.2 degrees Celsius. 他确实是发烧了， because the normal temperature for adults should be something under 37 degrees Celsius. 正常的这个体温应该是37°C 吧。So no wonder, 难怪 no wonder the patient feels weak and dizzy. So to be safe, 所以为了安全起见呢 the nurse checks the patient's pulse and respiration rate. Okay, so the nurse asks the patient to sit up straight. 他请他坐直 and breathe normally. 请他正常的呼吸。Okay, and after the test is done, we found that the patient has a heartbeat of 90 per minute. So, students, please tell me, does the patient have a normal heartbeat? Do you know what is the normal heart rate for adults? The normal heart rate should be something between 60 to 100, right? From here we know his heartbeat is fine. But how about his respiration rate? His breathing rate? Students, what is the normal respiration rate for an adult? It should be something like 12 to 20, right? And now the patient has 24 breaths per minute. That means he is breathing a little bit too fast. So the nurse says she will tell the doctor about that. Let's see what will happen next. The patient says, "Thank you. I think there is an infection in my throat or lungs." Well, because the patient's breathing is a bit fast, 24 breaths per minute, remember? So he thinks maybe because his throat or lungs are infected. 可能是因为他的喉咙或者是肺部感染了，所以他才会呼吸过快。The nurse responds, "Very likely, very possible." 所以护士就回应说，非常有可能。Just wait and see what the doctor says. Time for blood pressure now. Please lift up your right arm so I can read the cup around your arm. 所以护士请他 lift up， 举起他的右手背，以便能够把血压带呢，环在他的手臂上。Read the cup around your arm. Wow, this is tight. My fingers are feeling numb. I guess we all have this experience. 血压带在充气的时候呢，它会变得很紧。So it's natural that your fingers will feel numb. But the numb feeling is just temporary. 可是这种麻麻的感觉只是暂时的。And it won't hurt your fingers. Your fingers won't be hurt. 你的手指头是不会受伤的。So you don't need to worry. So don't worry, your fingers won't be hurt. And after the measurement of blood pressure is done, we get this reading. 我们得到一个指数，读数就是125/80. Well, so this is within normal range. This is normal. So for the patient, it's good news. It's good to hear that. And after all the vital signs are taken, the nurse tells the patient to go inside and see the doctor. Okay, we are done with the explanation of the whole dialogue. Because of time limit, I don't have time to take you to read aloud the whole dialogue. Students, please practice reading aloud on your own. If you do it, I believe your speaking ability will definitely improve. Now let's go on to the video.
What seems to be the problem with you?
I woke up yesterday with a sore throat and a headache.
I'm not much better today.
I feel pain all over my body.
So I thought I had better to see a doctor.
Well, let me ask you some questions before you see a doctor. How long have you had these symptoms?
For several days.
Do you have a fever?
I have no idea.
Well, let me take your temperature first.
Okay.
Please put a thermometer under the armpit. Please give me the thermometer.
How's my temperature?
It's 38.2 degrees Celsius. You do have a fever.
No wonder I feel weak in the disease.
Let me measure your pulse and respiration rate. Please sit up straight and breathe normally. Give me your hand and don't talk.
How's my pulse?
It's 90 beats per minute.
Is it normal?
Yes, your heartbeat is fine, but you are breathing faster than the upper limit. 24 breaths per minute is a bit much for an adult. I will inform the doctor of that.
Thank you. I think there is an infection in my blood or lungs.
Likely, just wait and see what the doctor says. Time for blood pressure. Please lift up your right arm so I can raise the cuff around your arm.
Wow, this is tight. My finger is feeling numb.
Don't worry, your finger won't be hurt.
How's my blood pressure?
It's 125/80. It is in the normal range.
Good to have that.
Now you can go inside and see the doctor now.
Okay, thanks.
It's time for Q&A. Students, please try to answer these questions orally before you check the answers. 请同学先试着口头回答，之后再对答案咯。Okay, question 1. What symptoms does the patient have? The patient has a sore throat and a fever, and he aches all over. Number 2. What does a nurse do before the patient sees the doctor? The nurse takes the patient's vital signs. Number 3. Does the patient have a fever? Yes, he does. His body temperature is 38.2 degrees Celsius. Number 4. How are the patient's pulse and respiration rate? The patient has a heart rate of 90 per minute, which is normal, but his breathing rate is 24 per minute, which is not normal. Practice 1 is true or false. Okay, let's do them together. Number 1, the patient has had a sore throat for several days. This is true. Number 2, the patient has a high blood pressure. This is false. Remember, the patient's blood pressure is 125/80, which is normal. Number 3, the patient feels nausea and pain all over. This is false. The patient has pain all over, but he doesn't have nausea. Number 4, the nurse gives the patient an injection to relieve his pain. 护士给病人打针来减轻他的痛。This is false. The patient has not seen the doctor yet, so it's the doctor who decides whether the patient should get an injection, not the nurse. Okay, number 5. The nurse takes the patient's armpit temperature. This is true. For practice 2, You need to fill in each blank with the proper word according to the context. Students, I would like you to stop the video and spend 2 minutes time completing this exercise, okay? Now, let's check the answers together. Question 1. Let me get a... so I can check your temperature. Okay, the answer is thermometer. Number 2. I would like to take your blood pressure. Please hold out your arm. Number 3. Your blood pressure is 130/90. Number 4. I woke up with a sore throat and a fever, and I ache all over too. Ache is used as a verb. 在这里 ache 是当动词，也就是 I feel pain all over。但是呢，请同学千万不要说 I hurt all over。hurt 如果当作痛的话，它前面是必须使用一个身体的部位，例如说 My nose hurts， 我的鼻子痛 ；My eyes hurt， 我的眼睛痛。OK， 但是你不能说 I hurt， 来代表我在痛。OK，All right, number 5. This blood pressure cuff is tight. My fingers are feeling numb. For practice 3, you need to translate these sentences into English. Again, please stop the video and spend a few minutes time doing this exercise. Okay, now let's check the answers. Sentence 1. What seems to be the problem with you? What seems to be the problem with you? Or you can also say, where do you feel discomfort? Where do you feel discomfort? Number 2. How long have you had these symptoms? How long have you had these symptoms? Number 3. Let me tell you your temperature. Let me tell your temperature. Number 4. Your temperature is 37.5 degrees. Number 5. Your blood pressure is 120/80. Remember, practice makes perfect. So students, keep practicing and your English will improve. In today's lesson, you have learned some important words used for taking vital signs. You have also learned how to carry out a conversation with patients to complete the vital signs check. Students, remember to practice the dialogue with a friend to help you feel confident and competent when you next help a patient take vital signs in English. This is the end of the lesson. Thank you for joining us. This online course is funded by the Ministry of Education.